Hi, how's it going?
Good, good.
Lovely. Thanks so much for coming and meeting me. You're very good.
Oh, no, thank you. Thanks for making the time. Can you hear me
Absolutely
okay?
no problem. It's so cool to actually meet you. How's it going?
Good.
Good. I'd say you had such a busy day so far. I'd say you were really, really busy. So,
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good things.
oh, lovely, lovely. So I'm just going to ask you just a few questions. I'd love my audience to really get to know you and some of your background about what inspires you and maybe even your first album that you might have bought.
Sure. Uh,
Um,
you 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 want me to talk about the first album that I ever bought or that I loved or?
If you were ever like given an album as a gift that you love and maybe it inspired you when you were very young, I'd love to know about that.
Um, well, I mean, my first album that I ever got was a Plasmatics album actually, and I just remember uh the cover was just it just blew my mind because I had
Yeah,
never seen uh, a a woman dressed like that, and just
very good.
it was Wendy Williams, and she was in a leopard print, like kind of see-through bodysuit, but with the boobs cut out, and then
Okay,
duct tape, and then a crazy wig, and she was on a Cadillac that had been driven on into a pool.
very cool.
And I was just like, I need to know her, you know? And so I
Yeah,
think that was the initial draw was this like, I don't care, or, I
mm,
don't have, attitude. And I love the music, and I really am a fan of Wendy Williams still to this day. I think she was, you know, such a strong character and
yeah.
with a sad ending, but still very inspiring.
I've I love album art, and that's kind of what inspires me to even pick up a vinyl nowadays. If I'm going through a record shop and an album art sticks out to me, your album, the side of the mountain, my side of the mountain. I love that. I love the red on it. I love how you're
Oh, thanks.
posing. I even
Thank
love,
you.
see, I have a background in graphic design,
Cool.
and the way your logo is even presented and the font and the typography on the album,
Oh, thanks.
it stands out, it really does. And I think in the music industry now, I can really see more bands, and especially indie artists and bands, aiming to have a particular artistic direction.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I think it's like that I'm just so thankful that you gave me those compliments about the album artwork just because at the time my manager or just my team in general was like concerned that um there that I wasn't showing my face. And
yes,
but that was what I liked about it. I liked that
yeah,
it was like this isn't about trying to be pretty or anything. I think
no,
it
no.
was to really give you a sentiment. So
Yes,
um
and
and
it,
like
it's
a
it's a
sense of
statement.
despair.
Yeah, it's a statement. It really is, and it invokes a
Like
sense
there's
of
nothing
mystery
sexy
behind
about
the
it, and that's what I
artist.
liked about it.
No, it's one of it's a fantastic album cover. It really is.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you.
really cool.
Yeah, and
Um,
it was cool. The photographer who shot it, his name is Sad Swim. He is really good. I was actually really nervous to shoot with him. He's like much younger,
yes,
um and I mean he does shoot digitally but tends to shoot analog, and I was like, I in the past I've had experiences when you shoot and things don't come out right and then you have to reshoot
mm,
everything again. And I just think that was, I don't know, there's something that's like very lo-fi about that image. And I was
yeah,
just so, I don't know, I always tell, his name is Ian. uh, um
very good.
just so grateful for that album cover. I think it was there's a coolness to it.
It certainly pops. Um,
Thanks.
there's a great artistic direction around your work in general. I'd say that comes from your history of being an artist as well, and I'd say that comes very naturally to you. And I
Yeah,
know
yeah. Go ahead.
from your music, there's definitely an artistic direction in your music as well, which is very fascinating. And I'd love to know if there was any early inspirations, maybe even a film or a book you've read that have shaped your approach to writing music or producing your albums.
Yeah, I guess to answer that in the few separate ways, the design aspect. Yeah, I think that my background in not just tattooing but just in design like definitely play a part in layouts. Like I'm like you, I'm very appreciative of specific layouts and
Mm.
intention behind things and compositions. Those are very important to me, and so I think that does play a role in what how I produce the aesthetics of things.
Yes.
But I think when it comes to I guess the second part you were asking more about how I
Yeah.
write
How you
music or
how it comes into how you approach your music and songwriting.
yeah, I mean, I love storytelling. I've been doing that since I was a child, and I think once I got on television, it
Mm.
was even more apparent that that I enjoyed telling a story. You know, whether it was about my own life or about the person I'm tattooing or whatever. And I think you know, there's a quality of production that comes with having that background, I guess, you know, like
Yeah.
and even in my music videos, I find that I'm directing a lot and or micromanaging, however they
Yes.
might like. Um, but
Your
these
music
things,
videos are incredible. The artistic vision behind them
oh,
really
thanks.
stands out. Yeah, you've a great eye
I,
for that. You've a great
oh,
eye.
thanks. Yeah, I think details are important, and yeah, and it's interesting because my husband and I talk about this a lot, where we're like, you know, we put so much effort into a lot of things, and we a lot of thought goes into it, and nothing is by accident. But then we see, you know, sometimes it's like I'm like, I wonder if we're working too hard, like I don't know if people care, I don't know if people notice, but then I talk to you, and it you know makes it worth it, so it's
It
nice.
stands out instantly. Yeah, I love I really appreciate when artists, especially we have a lot of indie and upcoming artists in Ireland here, and they specifically approach their music videos, their music, their album artwork with such finesse and detail. It really makes their work stand out even more. So I think that's really appreciated.
Oh
Um
yeah.
so I'm going to be in the crowd for
Oh
your
cool. Oh
academy
my gosh,
gig.
I can't wait.
I
That's I'm so
I'm I
excited.
can't wait for that. It's going to be incredible, absolutely
Yeah.
incredible, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy your time here in Dublin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm so glad to be coming back. I haven't been back there for I think over a decade now, so it'll be exciting to you know hopefully see a lot of my older fans as well to
yes,
join,
absolutely,
um,
yeah,
and new ones too. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really
good,
excited.
good. And are you calling me from your home at the moment?
Yes, yeah, I'm in
Oh,
my dining room, but I'm in the Midwest,
yeah,
in a state called Indiana.
Indiana, yeah.
Not very popular, so
How's the
but we
home
love it.
renovation going?
Yeah, and we live in very rural areas, so
Yes,
it's a very small town, and we got this old Victorian house that I've been renovating for the last few
lovely.
years. But today is I'm getting some Dublin weather over here. There's a big storm coming in, so I think you heard the door slamming. I think that was the wind
Yeah,
just like slamming things. So
I think we've swapped weathers. I think I have the Indiana weather outside.
yeah, I
Yeah,
heard. Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
I know. We're really enjoying it at the moment. Um,
Yeah,
so I won't keep you too much longer, Kat. I know you're probably
yeah,
very, very busy, but I've just one final question. And
sure.
have you any Irish bands, upcoming bands, or bands from the past that you particularly love?
Yeah, well, I was actually going to ask you about that
Hmm,
because in our Dublin date, you know, I'm going on this European UK tour with my
yeah,
husband, prayers, and the only date that he's not playing with me is going to be Dublin because he's heading out to France for Hellfest,
right.
and and so my bandmate and I, Sammy Doll, we were like trying to rack our brains about who could be a cool opener, and I personally would love it if it was somebody that was from Ireland, you know,
Yeah,
but I don't really know any local like I know that there's a lot of really cool local upcoming bands like and I was wondering if you knew anybody that was like, you know, not necessarily sounds like us but is in within our world that would
yes.
be a good match. I mean, you don't have to answer now. You can always send it to me via email or whatever if you want, but
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
I think that would be cool, right?
Yeah, it definitely would. And I think the Irish public would really appreciate you to shine a light on some of the upcoming bands in the country because we have them in abundance. They really are making an incredible name for themselves, and there's real progression here in the music industry in Ireland.
So
Off
cool.
the top of my head, there's an incredible band called Big Sleep,
Okay,
and
cool.
these guys are they have their unique sound, and I think it would blend well with your dynamic approach to music and live shows, especially.
I'm writing it down. So awesome,
Yeah,
cool. I can't wait to even just discover new music. So
yeah,
thank
you
you.
should. It's
Awesome,
fantastic. Yeah, everything's available on our website. We love to give these up and coming bands room to talk and ways to connect with
awesome.
their audience. So
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, and
yeah,
I think,
lovely.
for this show in particular, it's like, I like that it's gonna be intimate. I feel like a lot of people know me from tattooing or from when I used to have a makeup line, but like the music stuff is very new.
Yeah,
So, it's exciting for me to be able to share. This is gonna be my first time playing in Europe and in the UK. So I'm, slightly nervous, but more excited than anything.
yeah.
So and I'm just excited to be coming out to Dublin because I think last time we had done routing we weren't going through Dublin, so I
Mm.
was like really excited that this time around we are.
No, you will. I think making the stop in Dublin is going to be so worth it. The
Cool.
the crowds in Dublin, I'm sure you'll get a few Olay chants going around the academy. They're always fantastic, so I'm sure you'll have an absolutely incredible time.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and
yeah,
I know
I'm really
we're
looking
doing.
forward to it. I
Oh,
can't
cool,
wait.
awesome. Me too. Me too.
Good, good.
Well, thank you so much for making the time again,
No,
and
thank
I
you.
can't wait to see you in June.
Yeah, lovely. I look forward to it. Okay. Have a great
Awesome.
day,
Cool.
and I'll speak to you soon. Right.
Awesome. All
Bye
right.
now.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.